Great. With this, let's move ahead with our next session, which is on the topic Future-Proof Leadership, meeting 2024's top digital challenges with Happay. And for this, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Abhishek Sharda, who is an expert in employee expense management at Happay. Giving a brief introduction, he is recognized for his proficiency in the travel and expense space, has had a substantial impact driven by commitment to excellence. Originally from Vadodara, his IT journey with Tally Solutions in 2012 played pivotal roles in delivering key solutions for enterprises. Leading the Metro Guild in Pune, he contributed to its journey from 0 to 1. Upon joining Happay in 2023, Abhishek garnered acclaim for his work with RPG Group and Tata Group. With this, let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Right. Probably one of the youngest speakers on the panel today, so just excuse me if I miss out on some things or something. All right, my topic for today is Future-Proof Leadership, meeting 2024's top digital goals with Happay, right? So I'll just jump to certain important points right now, okay? Being a CIO, right, all of us from the fraternity, right, today we are not just thought through as technology leaders or innovation partners, right? We are also driving growth through sustainable business practices that we are indulging in, right? And there are 4 main digital initiatives that globally CIOs have started engaging with in 2024. And these 4 initiatives include, first, the ESG initiatives. Every CIO globally is, incorporating, ESG goals into their KRAs and KPAs to ensure sustainable business development for the organization, right? These kind of initiatives include, optimizing the complete data center efficiency that we are using, moving to cloud computing platforms and SaaS-based platforms, which absolutely help in innovation stuff for, enhancing the complete capabilities perspective, right? The second kind of initiative that CIOs these days are encouraging with are data security aspects, right? With cyber attacks increasing year on year by 50%, we are, on the verge to ensure that we need to have, security of the database on a very large extent and protect the customers as well as our company's data to have a less impact on our reputation for the organization. The third and the most important initiatives that CIOs globally are taking are with respect to having regulatory reforms, right? There have been multiple changes with respect to regulations that are happening on a continuous basis, right? And we, as digital leaders, need to incorporate certain enhancements to comply with these regulatory reforms, and which will help us from financial, financial frauds, or also from penalties and reputational damages for the organization. And fourth, which is one of the topics that we have been discussing over the courses today, is with respect to innovation. A lot of companies are undergoing a complete digital transformation journey, and with the advent of AI, and as Sir was rightly presenting right now, that AI is something that is going to help our organization and our teammates to enhance the complete processes and bring in more operational efficiencies to the organization, right? So these are the 4 major digital initiatives that we are taking in right now, and we'll deep dive upon each one of them and also see how Happay is gonna, help us in delivering all these 4 initiatives, right? First, before divulging into, the methodologies as to how we are gonna be helpful, right? We'll divulge into why are these particular operational initiatives important, right? One of them being ESG, right? India has a goal to be a carbon neutral country by 2070, right? And a lot of companies have taken, operational goals in order to have, going carbon neutral by 2050 or 2047. There have been certain companies that I have been interacting with that have set themselves a goal to go carbon neutral by 2040 as well, right? Globally, a research says that companies that are incorporating ESG initiatives in their ongoing agendas, they have seen a 25% increase in the investor interest, which means we are also helping in raising funds for the organization. Secondly, since our businesses are growing globally, right, every country has a norm in place for having, their own norms for ESG, right? And in order to do business in those countries, we need to comply to those norms, right? And that becomes a very important aspect, and that's the reason we need to have ESG as a part of our key initiatives that we take, right? Thirdly, and the most important part, with Gen Z and Gen Alpha coming into the business and they're becoming one of our customers altogether, a trend has been seen where we see that people are opting for sustainable solutions, people are opting for sustainable products, and people are opting to buy from companies that are actually investing into their sustainable environment per se. And with that being said, it becomes a very important point where it is going to help us build up the market loyalty and also the perception amongst the end consumers to have a sustainable business in place. Next up, with respect to compliance perspective, all of us know that there are regulatory compliances, there are statutory compliances, then there are many more compliances. And in order, if we don't follow that, it's gonna be hampering the complete organization per se, right? A research from Gartner actually states that companies that have a high compliance, adherence will have a 70% less chance of having some regulatory penalties, right? Second is with respect to travel and expense compliance. And this is something that many of us are concentrating upon, but it's a new topic altogether. It's become from a good to have product from a must have product right now. However, a research from ACFE states that 10% of total frauds in any organization is a part of the travel and expense frauds, right? And each fraud approximately globally is to the tune of about $26,000, which is creating a huge dent in the organization's funding capabilities, and obviously it's going to create a lot more impact in terms of the funds that could have been saved over the due course, right? Third, and the most important part, obviously with data protection and security aspect coming into picture, complying with GDPR or any kind of a data protection norm is becoming an important topic. And obviously, global research says that approximately about $1.45 million can be saved globally if all the companies are following the complete GDPR practices altogether, because that's going to lead to a lot more hindrances with respect to that. Okay, with that being said, let's deep dive into how companies or technology leaders globally are going forward for or addressing these challenges, right? The first and the foremost part, like I mentioned, following up on a sustainable IT practice, right? Enhancing the efficiency of our data centers is going to help us improve the complete sustainability aspect. As by 2030, right, about 13% of the global electricity consumption will be done by our data centers. So it is very important in order to ensure that we follow a sustainable aspect. We optimize the complete efficiency of our data centers, and also, with cloud companies and SaaS platforms coming into picture, right, there is a lot of consolidation happening with respect to these kind of efficiencies, and these platforms are actually built to enhance the complete efficiency of the data centers, and this is going to help us in reducing the carbon footprint all across. The second part is to have a sustainable business travel and expense management bit. So automated solutions can actually help us in identifying sustainable travel options, right? Airlines that can offer less CO2 emission, that can help us reduce the carbon footprint due to business travel. Secondly, with digitizing the complete expense management solution, it can also lead to saving of paper trail that goes all around while filing of expenses, and also getting the approvals on the same, which will actually help in saving paper, trees, water, etc. That's from the ESG perspective, correct? Next comes from the compliance perspective, right? Data governance practice needs to be incorporated to ensure the data protection is streamlined in the organization and all the compliance norms are being followed, right? There are various tools that are helping in delivering this part, and we'll also correlate to how Happay is also helping this out. The second part about the compliance aspect is ensuring the T&E compliance to ensure the financial frauds get reduced to a drastic level, right? So basically it can be with respect to ensuring the complete policy infusements in your automated T&E systems that can actually help in reduce the the financial frauds that happen, and also ensure 44% increase in the compliance perspective that can take place. The next step is to ensure the security or a zero trust architecture. I'm sorry. So with in order to ensure that everybody on the network in the company is monitored, we can implement single sign-on solutions and all of that. And anybody who's accessing any kind of a solution on the market, it needs to have a zero trust architecture implemented, and it needs to ensure that the complete solution and everybody is monitored who's accessing what kind of a solution in the organization. And finally, the innovation part, which leads to AI ML capabilities. Now AI, like Sir said, it's a very it's the buzzword right now. However, AI from the perspective of travel and expense compliance can be with respect to identifying certain key aspects of duplications, which actually help reduce the the work that our teams are doing. So in my previous session, Sir was mentioning to identify problems that people mention as love to hate problems, right? This is one of the jobs that our financial teams actually suffer from, and it's a love to hate problem where teams are continuously monitoring their invoices that come in and day out, and actually matching up with the expense line items to identify duplications. So with the advent of AI, there can be certain automations built up which can actually help in identifying duplications, discrepancies, or any kind of a prohibited item that is being a part of the invoice, that actually helps in saving up the organization a lot of money altogether on the platform, right? So this we talked about in a nutshell. Just to brief again with respect to ESG, following practices with respect to sustainable business travel, getting options for flights which can have less CO2 emissions, getting options for sustainable hotels that can actually help reduce the complete carbon footprint. With respect to the compliance and security aspects, policy compliances with respect to diverse nature of people that are available in the organization. So it can be a regional specific compliance or policies that an organization has, and you want to follow that up. That can also be a part of a solution. Now with Happay, how we are going to help you in order to ensure all these 4 channels or the digital initiatives that organizations are taking, right? So we have actually helped our customers to reduce their carbon emission by at least 40%, and also increase the complete compliance factor by 20% across organizations. We have over about 7,000 plus customers, and this is a research that we conducted over the 7,000 plus customers, and these are the kind of results that we are delivering at present. So how do we help with ESG and compliance? So we can offer a sustainable travel options through our platform, which can actually help in identifying the carbon footprint that the person will leave when he travels using a certain set of flights. Second, obviously, since all your expenses are going to get digitized, a copy of all your invoices that you are receiving will be transmitted through the internet. So it actually helps in reducing the paper trail that goes around, and which eventually is better with respect to saving waters, trees, as well as paper that goes around. Third, with respect to compliance, we have a very important feature that actually will help our business teams save a lot of time and effort from the activity that the team does, which is a smart audit tool which actually helps in identifying duplications, and duplications not just with respect to the data entry that a user does, it is with respect to the actual image of the invoice that goes into the platform. This duplication is powered by our OCR engine, and this is going to help reduce the burden of our financial teams to ensure 100% compliance is there and a faster reimbursement cycle can be implemented. And finally, with the policy compliance and the software being completely policy infused, all policies can be enforced, be it a soft violation or a hard violation that you want to implement. Everything will be there, and all out of policy spends can be flagged off to the respective managers or the teams altogether. And not just this, the software is capable enough to integrate with anything. So we have ready integrations available with your SSOs, we have ready integrations available with your HRMS platforms, we have ready integrations available with your ERP platforms to ensure the data security aspect and nobody outside of the environment is accessing the solution, and a proper data flow happens within the software. Second, real-time analytics is available based on your expense spends. It can be with respect to the categories where we are spending the most. It can be with respect to the top city where we are spending the most, or the top country where we are spending the most upon. It can also be with respect to the policy compliances and identifying the top violators across the organization. Real-time analytics can help us make faster decisions with respect to that, right? As I mentioned, the software will be completely configured as per the policies of the organization, and the compliance can be automated to a foolproof fashion. Finally, the most important part is the user interface. Today, people would prefer to use a tool that is pretty much easy and simple, and it does the work for them, right? Like for example, being in sales, any person does not want to submit an expense at one shot, right? It takes a lot of effort for a salesperson to type down his monthly activities completely over an expense management tool, in case if it is not allowing an OCR. And it takes a toll on his productive time that he could have spent in closing one more deal, right? We have automations available in terms of data capture through OCR, through even WhatsApp. So we are exploring one synergy where you can just click a photograph of a bill and you can forward it to a WhatsApp number, and your expense is created, and the salesperson sits happily in his office and continues on his business tool altogether, right? So that's how simplistic and user friendliness that we need to bring up in the software, and that's what Happay is capable of delivering. And finally, scalable solutions with ensuring a complete digital transformation journey for the organization and ensuring all the business practices are being followed altogether, right? So with that being said, like I mentioned, Happay as a system is ready to ensure that all your 4 digital initiatives of 2024 are catered to. We will help you with your ESG goals. We will help you with your compliance goals. We'll also ensure the data security aspect and the innovation goals of your organization are taken care of through our system. So more than happy to interact with all of you outside of the room and taking forward the discussion to the next level. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for your insightful session. I'll request you to please stay back. I would like to invite on stage Pavan sir to please come forward and felicitate our speaker for his talk. Please give them a big round of applause.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Great. Thank you so much once again. And